On the first day that we met, I always knew there was something different about you. I remember being overcome with an inexplicable feeling that I've never felt with anyone else before.
A beautiful marriage is not dramatic. It is hard to detect in novel and song because the acts that define it are so small, constant, and particular.
It's difficult to describe, but it felt like we had already known each other in a past life, and we were meeting again for the first time. It felt like everything that had ever happened in my life was to prepare me for this moment, and it felt like magic. Maybe it was the soothing sound of your voice, or how your face scrunched up when you smiled, or maybe it was your amazing eyebrows. I'm not sure what it was, but as cliche as it sounds, that day, I fell in love at first sight.
Hi, babe.
Hi,
Ready
babe.
to turn around?
Yeah. Oh my god.
What do you think?
You look amazing.
Thanks, honey. You look great.
Brooke's summation of love and marriage, in my opinion, is the perfect modern interpretation of this Corinthians verse. That it's the small, unseen, day-to-day things that add up to a marriage. The things that none of us here present will ever see. The unique bond and tiny foundations that you will continue to build throughout your lives together.
Still vividly remember the first time we met. Back in March 2017, right outside of the Lift Design studio. You were running late for an interview that I scheduled, and I was waiting for you to show up. You walked right past me towards the conference room, and right when you were about to turn the door handle, you somehow noticed me and started walking in my direction. You were wearing a black bomber jacket, a black t-shirt, skin tight, olive green jeans, and a pair of black and white Nike Air Maxes. You flashed your perfect smile at me, introduced yourself, and we shook hands. My very first impression of you was, cute guy, weak handshake. Who knew the cute guy with the weak handshake would become my favorite person on this planet? Growing up, my mom would always tell me about a belief in Chinese culture that when we are born, the gods tie an invisible red thread around the pinkies of those who are destined lovers, regardless of place, time, or circumstances. This magical cord may stretch or tangle, but never break. I now know who that special person is at the other end of my thread. It's you.
Patrick, ask spiritual father. I'm really proud to know you. I have the great pleasure of watching you going from a little baby into a wonderful young man. You cannot possibly know how proud I am of you.
I really look up to Pat. He's a role model to me. Growing up, my goal was always to just do a little bit better than Pat did. So like GPA and SAT score, yeah, I just had to do a little better than him. Yeah, I usually succeeded. With meeting Angel though, it's gonna be hard for me to beat. I would have to seduce a coworker and convince her to marry me. That's gonna be tough to pull off.
I've never been somebody who's had too many close friends, and I think a big part of the reason why is because I always had my best friends at home with me. We've known each other for 23 years, and in that time, you've come to be more than just my big sister, Angel. You've raised me as much as mom and dad have, but you're also one of my best friends. There's so many more perks to being born last, but the biggest one has to be growing up with a role model like you. You are who I've looked up to and wanted to be just like ever since I was 5. And while I have to say, I think you set the bar a little too high as the firstborn. It's being your baby sister that's given me so many life experiences I never would have had otherwise.
And someday, when we're old and gray, I promise that when we look back on our lives, we'll see a life well lived. Angel Zhao, I love you forever.